He had white hair, long white hair and a beard. The most vivid blue eyes. When I was 6 months old, I contracted mercury poisoning. The effect is that you have to be kept in a dark room. You can't be touched because your skin sheds. You're very light sensitive. And so at 6 months old, I stopped being held by my parents. And the first time I met John was when I heard him. He used to come and sing to me.
We could say she is kind of like the daughter to us in your terms, not in ours, but in your terms. It's a long relationship, it's a close relationship.
And he stayed with me until I was about 3.5 years old. And then he left because I was more connected to him than I was to my family, because I could see him. I didn't see him again until our son was born. I had to have a cesarean section. And I went through the tunnel. I almost died when I went through the tunnel. And he sent me back. That was the first time. He's done that 3 times.
So we have known this channel for a long, long time.
I decided that I would meditate. I would sit and meditate. I sat every day for 6 months, for 20 minutes. And on the final day of this 6 months, I said, if nobody speaks to me today, I am not meditating again. And what happened was, I became aware of someone standing in front of me, and it was just as though they'd wrapped me in this blanket. It was really warm, it was lovely. And that was the first connection as an adult with John.
We have to be very, very careful. We do not pick just anybody who likes to do this. There has to have been a long period of training, and even with that training, it's not an easy task for anyone who is channeling beings of light. They have to be strong in holding their frequency.
I worked with him for 7 years, every day, being taught. And then one day he said, now you are ready. And I asked what for, and he said, that we will speak through you into your world. And I said,
no. That is always the first word we hear, no.
She basically did not want to know at all. Just, no, not interested. But as I say, that lack of interest didn't last long.
So Tony said to me, what can it hurt? Don't say no, say perhaps, and be open and see how it develops.
After, 30 seconds, a minute, she started talking in this real masculine voice with a strange accent, I suppose. And the 3 of us were sitting there and we just, a bit taken aback, really surprised by this strange voice that was coming out of Helen. And Helen talked for 2 or 3 minutes, or John spoke through Helen for 2 or 3 minutes, basically saying that this is what they want her to do, but obviously on a much bigger scale.
Initially, I felt really sick the very first few times because it stirs the energy in the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, and so I felt really sick. But the more I got used to it, that feeling disappeared.
We have worked together many, many occasions, many lifetimes.
To surrender yourself to that extent, I think takes quite a lot of courage. You would have to have quite a lot of faith and trust in the energy that's talking through you.
She periodically resigns, decides she does not want to do this, and when she does, we know it's because she needs some time for the breathing. And after 5 minutes of your time, she changes her mind, decides she's not resigning after all. So then we're moving forward.
But now when I see him, he's not a grandfather figure. He's more, he shows himself more my age. I suppose I'm a grandmother, but younger, that little bit younger. And his hair's dark, and he doesn't have the beard. He's absolutely clean shaven. but the blue eyes are exactly the same.